this election day morning before you cast your ballot.
Plus, we are breaking down Beaumont's bond proposals, including the funding that the city wants to set aside for sidewalks and drainage projects.
And we'll take a deeper dive into Proposition D, which could help expand and revitalize downtown Beaumont. 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus starts now. We begin with breaking news. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died. Thanks for joining us on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. Cheney, he served under former President George W. Bush, and he was 84 years old. Now, we're still working to confirm additional information. We'll keep you updated. All right, now let's check in on our forecast with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Here's a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above Beaumont. We've got Jeff standing by right now with the forecast. Jeff, more dry weather I'd expect today.
Yeah, with no clouds, you got to have a few clouds to get a few raindrops, and we don't have any clouds out there today. It looks like sunshine through the entire afternoon, and we're seeing very chilly temperatures this morning. Not quite as cold as it was yesterday morning, but we're definitely seeing a couple of 30s out there. 39 in Jasper, 39 in Beaumont right now, 40 in Kirbyville. Orange is at 42, Silsbee's at 43, 47 right now in Woodville, and 49 at Port Arthur. So maybe a jacket or a coat to start off this morning. Outside, we're looking at, like I said, clear skies. Can't see a cloud out there. Looks like traffic's getting pretty busy on I-10 over towards southwest Louisiana. Also clear skies. Day planner shows highs in the middle 70s today. Sunny skies, and we'll see southeasterly winds anywhere between about 3 and 8 miles an hour. Looks like a beautiful afternoon. We'll see a nice warm up as we head towards the weekend. How warm will it get? We'll show you that in our 7-day forecast in weather in just a bit.
All right, at 7:02, traffic alert in Hardin County. We have reports of a crash. The northbound lanes on Highway 69 are closed and traffic is being diverted at Jordan Drive.
That's right. We are reaching out to authorities to learn more, and we will keep you updated. Well, 12 News is your election headquarters, and Election Day is finally here.
One big item on the ballot is the Beaumont bond, which we'll break down in just a moment. But first, 12 News reporter Derek Jones live at Rogers Park speaking with Jefferson County Clerk Roxanne Acosta-Hillberg. Polls are now open. Derek.
Mark and Tia, I'm here at Rogers Park, one of the many polling locations that just opened up. We just saw some voters walk inside to go in and cast their ballot. I'm here with Roxanne Acosta-Hillberg. And Miss Roxanne, could you just tell me a little bit about the early voting turnout and how you're feeling now that you've seen that line go inside?
Hey, we're just excited. There's a line at Rogers Park. We're not surprised by that, but we're excited. People are coming in. We're hoping that the other locations are going to be reporting the same level of activity all day long. So this is a great start. Great start.
Gotcha. So how many ballots did you guys print out for this election?
So based on previous activity, we are ready with 12,000 ballots for today. So help us spend them today.
Alrighty. And are you expecting to use all those ballots?
We are expecting to use them all. So, again, it's a lot of reading material. There are plenty of resources out there for you to be familiar with what's on the ballot. And, of course, local entities have a lot at stake, $500 million. So please make your voice heard today.
Alrighty, and I see a lot of people are moving inside to go vote. To keep that line moving, what are some things that voters should know about in order to keep the line moving, like IDs, any requirements, stuff like that?
Sure. Always bring your Texas ID, your driver's license. That makes it a lot faster. And being familiar with what's on the ballot makes it a lot quicker to go through the express poll voting system. And just bring a friendly smile. Our poll workers are ready. They've been trained, and they're ready to get you going through.
Gotcha. And then also, why is it so important to come and cast your vote?
Again, we have a lot at stake with the local opportunities that we have here. So social media is a great platform, but this is your best one. Make your voice heard here at the voting locations. At 31 of them today. Show up. This is your best place to make your voice heard.
Thank you so much, Ms. Acosta.
You're very welcome.
If you guys are wanting to come out and vote, the ballot if you want to come out and vote, come out to Rogers Park at 7 to 7 p.m. There are multiple polling locations open. Derek Jones reporting from Rogers Park, 12 News.
All right, Derek, now let's get back to that Beaumont bond proposal. There are 5 bonds that are going to be on the ballot. Proposition A involves infrastructure. B is for public safety and facilities. Prop C will be for Parks and Recreation. D will expand the Riverfront Park downtown, and Prop E will extend a road through town. Now, Prop A, that would set aside $58 million for streets and drainage improvements and a citywide sidewalk initiative. That funding would be split 4 ways. For improvements to the Broad Oak Street outfall ditch, that would be one. West Lucas storm sewer rehabilitation, that'd be another project. There's also special equipment and a citywide storm sewer cleaning initiative. It also includes improvements to 10 city streets.
Prop B would put aside $6.7 million to replace Fire Station 4 on West Lucas. It also includes $61 million to replace Beaumont's police headquarters. Police Chief Tim Okanishek says the facility doesn't meet modern safety standards and has had an issue with flooding.
Pretty much any time it rains heavy, we will have some kind of seepage or flooding. We have people that really care, and they're going to do everything they can to, if the water starts coming in, they're going to move boxes where they're not going to be impacted.
Prop B also includes a $50 million sports complex, an $11.2 million multi-purpose facility at Alice Keith Park, and a $7.9 million animal shelter. Now to Proposition D, which aims to expand Riverfront Park all the way to Main Street.
Yeah, it's all with the goal of bringing life back to downtown. Now 12 News reporter Daniela Tabuada-Palau, she has more.
It should happen. I think there's nothing to lose. We have a lot to gain.
Bhupesh Patel owns a Subway franchise in downtown Beaumont. He says he's excited for the potential riverfront expansion under bond Proposition D.
The more traffic you have in downtown, the better it is for all the businesses.
Assistant City Manager Chris Boone said the city wants to bring back life to Riverfront Park and downtown Beaumont as a whole.
The restored Riverfront Park as we see it now is, I would say, passive. So the idea would be to add some more active amenities like amphitheater, like playground, like splash pad.
A plan Beaumont father Hayden Smith said would be a great opportunity for his family.
My 3-year-old enjoys the Children's Museum right there by it. So whenever the weather's nice and everything, that'd be so close, and be able to bring her somewhere, it would be nice.
He believes it's worth his tax dollars.
That's nothing, 67 cents doesn't get you anything nowadays, so it doesn't hurt anybody.
That 67 cents a month price is based on the average home value in Beaumont at $154,000. That cost can fluctuate depending on the appraisal of your property.
Riverfront Park has 2 main parts.
In renderings released by the city, you can see 2 parts of the project. An addition next to the river and a new plaza on Main Street. An elevated boardwalk would connect the two. Boone says the design also keeps future hurricanes in mind.
A lot of the expansion up to that parking lot is going to be green space. The more expensive amenities, so like if we did space for food trucks, if we did amphitheater, that would be upland.
And that was Daniela Tabuada-Palau reporting. Now to some of those state constitutional amendments that we've been telling you about. We're going to start with Prop 10 that would authorize a property tax exemption for improvements for homes completely destroyed by a fire. Right now, property appraisals, they are assessed in January, and if your home is destroyed in a fire, there is no way to get a new assessment. If Prop 10 passes, you can request a new appraisal within 180 days and potentially get a prorated rate. Now, it would only apply to homes completely destroyed and only by fire. No other disasters here.
Meanwhile, Propositions 11 and 13 involve property tax exemptions for some of the more vulnerable Texans. But do they mean real tax relief or the risk of funding cuts for public schools? Ashley Godot with our sister station in Austin explains.
I'm KVUE Political Director Ashley Godot here to continue our deep dive looking at the 17 proposed amendments to the state constitution that all Texas voters are weighing in on. Today, let's talk about 2 props that have widespread support because they would increase homestead exemptions. We'll start with Prop 11. Here's what you'll see on the ballot. The constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to increase the amount of the exemption from ad valorem taxation by a school district of the market value of the residence homestead of a person who is elderly or disabled. During the 2023 legislative session, lawmakers voted to increase the property tax exemption to $100,000. But the additional exemption given to Texans ages 65 and older and those who are disabled didn't change. It stayed at $10,000. If this prop passes, the additional savings given to seniors and the disabled would increase to $60,000, saving the average older Texan about $450 on their school tax bill every year. A lot of older and disabled Texans are on fixed income, so as property values across the state increase, it can be harder for seniors to stay in their homes. Supporters say this would help, and school districts wouldn't lose any money because the state will put more money in to make up the difference. That's also the case if Prop 13 passes. Here's that prop. The constitutional amendment to increase the amount of the exemption of residents' homesteads from ad valorem taxation by a school district from $100,000 to $140,000. This one, pretty easy to understand, and earlier this year I talked with the author of the bill, State Senator Paul Betancourt, about the impact it would have for Texas homeowners.
Well, the key component of SB 4 is that it raises the homestead exemption. When a homeowner gets a higher homestead exemption, it means they pay less. And on school taxes, it's really important. We've had a great run at raising the homestead exemption up to $100,000, but now we're going to go another 40%, raise it up to $140,000, and that saves the average home $363 a year, every year, for the rest of their lives.
If both of these propositions pass, Texas seniors and the disabled would get a property tax exemption of $200,000, which means a supermajority of seniors across the state won't have to pay any school taxes. Again, supporters say this provides real tax relief to Texans, but opponents warn if there's an economic downturn and Texas is faced with a budget deficit instead of a surplus, lawmakers could cut funding to public schools. After all, that's what happened in 2011. The choice, though, is up to you to vote, Texas.
And 12 News has a full election guide breaking down everything on the ballot. Text the word VOTE to 409-838-1212. We'll send that complete breakdown straight to your phone. We'll also have special coverage throughout the day.
All right, your time's now 7:12, and Vidor City Council has rejected a candidate for city manager. A special meeting was held last night to consider Benjamin Nyberjar for that position. Mayor Misty Hart said several citizens spoke out against him, so he's now out of the running. Mayor Hart says they will reopen that position for anyone who wants to apply. And coming up next, a health alert. Experts warn against a wave of new viral beauty trends that could leave you permanently disfigured. Plus, new and unusual holiday treats that'll leave you saying, why? Your trending news is coming up.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips. having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. Well, a new wave of beauty trends is going viral, and experts say that some of them could leave you disfigured as people look to TikTok instead of medical professionals. Marcella Robertson explains.
But unfortunately, there's so much misinformation out there. And TikTok, social media, people are doing dangerous things that are not backed by science. And it creates these viral trends.
One of the latest examples, a face-shaping wrap promoted online. Experts say it can actually impair breathing, especially if you have asthma or sleep apnea.
It's like a device that you wear around your head and your neck that promotes, it's supposed to make you have a snatched jawline. But frankly, if any of these gimmicks worked, aesthetic medicine wouldn't exist. I tell people that if it sounds too good to be true, it is. And the reason that it's dangerous, like, it is not approved medical device that has to go through rigorous standards to be approved. It can cause, if you're putting it on too tight, nerve damage.
And the risks don't stop there. Another trend is hyaluronic pens, handheld devices that claim to mimic lip fillers.
Hyaluronic pens, they come and go based on, I think, a viral TikTok. But there's these pens that you can just take at home, and it's supposed to deliver hyaluronic acid, which is what lip filler is made of. However, it is not real lip filler. And so patients are coming to us with all of these bumps on their lips, and they look very deformed and they're scarred, and they're asking us to dissolve it, which you can do for regular filler. However, this isn't real hyaluronic acid. It's not the real gel that we use, so there's nothing we can do. Maybe surgery could fix some of these things, but typically patients are just scarred for life.
Experts say social media influence plays a huge role in this, but it's important to connect with a real, trusted provider to make sure you aren't doing damage that can't be reversed.
You know, I think social media is a blessing and a curse. We see all these things online, but it makes us impatient. People think they are entitled to all of these procedures instead of just waiting and doing it the right way.
And that was Marcella Robertson reporting. If you are tempted to try one of these hacks, remember the fix could cost a lot more than it's worth.
It's chilly out there this morning. You want the jacket or at least a coat or something like that as you walk out the door. You can see a couple areas in the 30s out west of town. Municipal Airport in Beaumont, we're at 39. And in Jasper, we're also at 39. And just above 39 is Kirbyville at 40, 42 in Orange, 43 in Silsbee. Then we jump to 47 in Woodville and 49 in Port Arthur. Take you over towards southwest Louisiana. Clear skies out there for this morning. Chilly, but looking pretty good if you're heading out this morning. Sunglasses and a jacket probably would be a good idea for this morning. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network in Lake Charles. Same deal for Jasper. Our camera there up in the Jasper area showing not much in the way of any clouds, maybe a few high thin clouds off in the distance there on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This camera brought to you by Provalis. As we look at satellite and radar, same thing, nothing going on. There's no clouds across the state. There are a few clouds out in part west Texas, maybe the Texas Panhandle, but that's about it. High pressure keeping us high and dry. We'll do that through the next 7 days. We will see a front come through, but with no moisture to work with. I won't see any rain with the front, looks like, as we head towards late Saturday into early Sunday. Our futurecast for the next 24 hours shows temperatures in the middle to upper 50s as we head towards about mid-morning. Lunchtime, though, we jump to the lower 70s and then middle 70s for high city. Should be a beautiful afternoon. Lots of sunshine, a little bit of a southeasterly breeze. Comfortable temperatures, looking great. Temperatures back into the 60s as we head towards the early part of the evening, 50s by late in the evening, and we kind of park ourselves there in the 50s for tomorrow morning around the triangle at least. I think we'll see some 40s return up towards the lakes area heading into your Wednesday. So the forecast for today, sunny, southeasterly winds at 3 to 8, and we'll see highs anywhere from 75 to about 77. And then there's those upper 40s tomorrow morning up in the lakes. A lot of the area, though, will be in lower middle 50s with a little bit of a southeasterly wind between about 2 and 7 miles per hour. 7-day forecast shows warmer for Wednesday and Thursday, near 80, maybe 80, 81, either one of those days. And then we'll get up into the middle 80s for Friday and Saturday. Just partly cloudy skies, that's about it. You notice morning lows not close to the 40s. We'll be in the lower to middle 60s. Even Sunday morning we'll be in the lower 60s before the front really pushes in some cooler air. So slightly cooler on Sunday at upper 70s, and then look at Monday, we'll drop back to the lower 70s. So it's going to feel a little bit more fallish as we head towards Monday morning. Monday morning we'll be back down into the lower 50s. So we go up and then we go back down as far as temperatures over the next 7 days.
I guess we got nothing to say about that forecast
Hey,
other than you just don't need a raincoat for this week.
We've been talking about it all morning. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
Now, well, you know, if you don't like these chilly morning temperatures, a little warmer as we head towards the weekend, at least the first half of the weekend, where you won't need a jacket or anything like that. But then that cool air comes back.
Actually, I do have something to say.
Here we go.
The mosquitoes. Why they haven't? Where they? It's cold.
I've seen it snowing outside with mosquitoes flying around.
I mean, really thought they'd leave me alone.
You can't get rid of them.
You got some hardy mosquitoes down here.
Man, where do they go?
I don't know, but they're always there. It's funny. One time it was like freezing rain. I get in my car and there's a mosquito on the inside on the windshield. I'm like,
staying dry.
what?
Like, why you ain't dead?
That's where they go when it gets rainy.
Jeff's car.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
You bet.
All right, Daybreak, we're giving away tickets to the symphony next weekend, and one lucky winner is going to get 4 tickets to the concert on November 15th. That's Saturday, and you're going to have until Friday to get your tickets in, 6:30 a.m. to enter. Just go to 12newsnow.com/contest. We're going to announce the winner at Daybreak at the end of the 6 o'clock hour. All right, 7:21, time for your trending news. Prepare your palates because we are bringing you the holiday treats. First up, Oreo has become unhinged this Thanksgiving.
I mean, very unhinged.
Yeah.
It's offering an entire holiday dinner in one box of cookies. Oreo just dropped its Thanksgiving dinner cookie collection, and yes, the flavors are as wild as you'd expect. We're talking turkey and gravy, sweet potato, creamed corn, cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie, and apple caramel pie, all covered in fudge. They come in a cute Oreo-shaped tin for $20 online. So if you're no good at roasting turkey, go Oreo.
Yum.
Uh-huh.
Yum.
Yum and real dumb.
Yeah, yum and yuck.
All right, Kraft Mac and Cheese is launching an apple pie flavor just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, in a shocking turn, it is partnering with none other than Jason Biggs of the American Pie movies to promote this, begging the question, would you serve it? No, we're not going to explain that one. Here is the flavor palette, though. It is described as cheese. Oh, he just makes it look even more scrumptious there. Married with the taste of cinnamon and a note of tart green apple. Now, it's the sweet and savory combination that literally no one asked for.
I mean, not a soul asked for that.
I brought this up in 6 o'clock. There are some parts of the country that put a slice of American cheese on top of a slice of hot apple pie. Doesn't sound good, but I would try that before I tried that.
You tried that before you tried Oreo?
Before I tried any of the things we talked about, I'm going to go back to something that's at least well established, cheese on apple pie.
All right.
Yep. Move on over. Snack machines, dinner on the go. Just got a serious upgrade.
Yeah, a new vending machine at San Francisco is serving fresh handmade pasta with rich sauces, garlic bread, and even meatballs. Don't worry, it is refrigerated. With just a swipe of your card, you can grab your favorite dinner, which is ready in under 20 minutes, all for under $20. It's made fresh daily and it's changing the way people think about eating on the go.
And if you want to throw a dinner party, just take it all out.
Time now, 7:23. Jeff Gerber will be back with your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
Now the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Got to bundle up a little bit at the bus stop this morning. Temperatures in the 40s, mild 69 at recess. Very nice going home in the middle 70s. Along the coast, northeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, seas about a foot. Next high tide's 302 for this afternoon. Light chop on in the lakes and bays. Sunrise, we passed that at 6:33 this morning. Our sunsets at 5:26.
And coming up here on 12 News Plus, the polls are open. Derek Jones, he is live out there at Rogers Park with everything you need to know before you go out to vote this morning.
Plus, officials at the Port of Port Arthur are seeking $92 million to expand what's being planned to help support and build its infrastructure.
And that federal government shutdown now tied for the longest in American history. The talks of compromise as Americans struggle with food insecurity.
Time now 7:27. We'll be back with more news and weather in a bit.
Well, we're going to go ahead and begin with breaking news from overnight. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died. Thank you for joining us here on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. Cheney served under former President George W. Bush. He was 84 years old. We're still working to confirm information, but we'll keep you updated. For now, the time 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. Port Arthur police say they've identified 4 persons of interest in a weekend shooting that sent 3 people to the hospital. It happened just after 1 a.m. Sunday on 53rd Street. According to Police Chief Tim Duraso, all 3 victims were shot at a party. They're expected to be okay. Chief Duraso says detectives are now reviewing surveillance video.
And testimony is expected to begin today in 56-year-old Chad Potts' trial. The registered sex offender is on trial in Hardin County, and he is charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child and indecency with a child. According to court documents, he had more than 1 victim.
A Port Arthur man is on trial this week for a violent attack at the Port Arthur Inn. It happened back in March of 2023. Gabriel Jones faces 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Prosecutors say he jumped over a fence and, according to court documents, stabbed 1 person and hit another with a metal chair. Both victims had severe injuries.
All right, let's switch gears now and take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 live sky cam network as we look at the blue skies there above Port Arthur. We got Jeff Gerber standing by right now with today's forecast. How's it looking out there, Jeff?
Chilly. Matter of fact, a couple places look a little bit cold as we're seeing temperatures into the 30s. 39 now in Kirbyville. Jasper was just at 39 and also Beaumont at about 39, but now showing 41 in Beaumont and Jasper. 43 in Silsbee, 44 in Orange, 49 in Port Arthur, and also Woodville currently at about 49. Here's a look over towards the Horseman's Western Store in Orange, and we just see clear blue skies out there for this morning as temperatures over in Orange right around 50 degrees with our Roofing 911 live sky cam network. At the Horseman's Western Store, humidity at 83% with a northeasterly wind at around 2. We'll start off in the upper 50s by 9 a.m. and then lower 70s at lunchtime. Highs today about 75 to around 77. So right there in the middle 70s with southeasterly winds at 3 to 8. Beautiful afternoon, very comfortable. Humidity won't be too bad. We do see a warm up as we head towards the weekend and then a cool down. We'll look at your 7-day forecast to show you all the numbers and weather.
Traffic alert in Hardin County. We have reports of a crash. Northbound lanes on Highway 69 are closed and traffic is being diverted at Jordan Drive. We're reaching out to authorities to learn more and we'll keep you updated. 7:32 this morning. 12 News is your election headquarters. Election day is here in Southeast Texas.
Yeah, voters facing a long ballot, but so far turnout for early voting has been very low. Derek Jones, he's live at Rogers Park in Beaumont this morning, one of the main polling places in the city. How's it looking out there, Derek?
Hey, Mark and Tia, it's looking pretty nice out here. A lot of people and voters coming into Rogers Park, flowing behind me. And even though the lines are flowing right now, we just don't want to see a backup. So that's why it's good to be prepared to see what's on the ballot ahead of time, just so that way voters are not caught up. At the top are 17 state amendments. Most of them deal with taxes and state funding, including a bigger homestead exemption and setting aside money for things like dementia research and water projects. After that, local proposals like 6 city propositions in Beaumont and other community-specific issues surround Southeast Texas. To avoid surprises, check a sample ballot before you go. You can find election information at votetexas.gov or on our website, 12newsnow.com. Don't forget to bring a photo ID like a driver's license or passport. And remember, when you're inside the polling place, no cameras. Your ballot cannot be shared on social media. That is against Texas law. Here in Jefferson County, only 7% of people registered for early voting and came out to vote. And even though early voting turnout was low, there are big issues on the ballot like taxes, schools, and infrastructure. So if you're wanting your voice to be heard, come out to the polls and vote. At Rogers Park, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek. Well, Port Arthur voters are going to have a big decision to make today in their election. On the ballot, Proposition A, that's a plan that would let the city use Economic Development Corporation money for local projects. That money collected through the current sales tax would go toward community facilities, housing, and water improvements. Currently, the city has to hold separate elections for each type of those projects, but this proposal would streamline all that. Mayor Charlotte Moses recently sitting down with 12 News, explaining how this could make economic development faster and more efficient.
We're moving fast. Things are moving rapidly in our community. Businesses are coming left and right. and we have to move with the times. And so we want to be able to make sure citizens understand that we're trying our best and putting our best foot forward.
If voters approve this proposition, Prop A would put Port Arthur on the same playing field as cities like Orange, Nederland, and Groves and how they use their EDC money. And the Port of Port Arthur hopes that voters say yes to their bond proposal. They are seeking $92 million to expand. The port says that it needs more cargo handling and storage space as well as better access.
And the last time the port was up for a bond was nearly 10 years ago. 12 News reporter Kimmy Burchett visited the port to see what's being planned.
It's jobs, it's industry, it's economic growth.
A proposed $92 million bond will be on the ballots this November. It would focus on infrastructure at the port. This means replacing a 100,000 square feet cargo holding area and building a new cargo shed.
Those that have followed the port for a number of years have seen our continued growth. We've more than doubled the amount of man hours that are being worked here.
CEO and director of the port, Larry Kelly, says this bond picks up where the previous one stopped.
This just provides for that next phase of construction that allows us to improve the buildings. We've built the docks. Now we need to build the buildings and some of the laydown space to support that. That's how it would keep propelling the port forward.
He says most people aren't aware of how vital the facility is, even when it's in their own backyard.
We move military cargo through here. We move lumber, move aluminum, and you'll also see a lot of eucalyptus pulp that winds up on your store shelves in the form of paper towels and facial tissue and the like.
Stuart Salter, a third-generation Port Arthur resident, thinks the tax increase is a worthwhile price to pay.
And I'm not necessarily pro-tax, but it's return on investment, and that's what I calculate.
Salter says this bond represents an opportunity for the city's future.
Port work is generally a stepping stone, and this gives everyone an opportunity to step up and step out.
The bottom line of this proposed bond?
But it certainly builds a much bigger runway for us to operate off of.
And residents in Port Arthur will see the proposition on their ballot, and select residents in Groves and Sabine Pass. It's going to cost you $4 per month for every $100,000 of your home's value. Now to the Beaumont bond. There are 5 propositions on the ballot. A involves infrastructure. B, public safety and facilities. C, parks and recreation. D is to expand Riverfront Park, and E extends a road through town. Prop A would set aside $58 million for street and drainage improvements. It also includes a citywide sidewalk initiative. The money would be split 4 ways for improvements to the Broad Oak Street outfall ditch, West Lucas storm sewer rehabilitation, special equipment, and citywide storm sewer cleaning. It also includes improvements to 10 city streets. We'll break this down later on.
As for Beaumont's Proposition B, that would put aside $6.7 million to replace Fire Station number 4 on West Lucas. That current station is over 70 years old. It also includes $61 million to replace Beaumont's decades-old police headquarters. Police Chief Tim Ognishek says that building the building they have now doesn't meet modern safety standards and has had issues with flooding. Proposition B also includes $50 million for a sports complex and $11.2 million for a multi-purpose facility at Alice Keith Park and a $7.9 million animal shelter. There will also be $10 million set aside for various facility improvements at city facilities.
Then there's Prop D, which would set aside $12.5 million, mostly to expand Riverfront Park. Officials want to make an addition next to the river and a new plaza on Main Street connected by a boardwalk. If all 5 propositions pass, it'll cost taxpayers about $14.25 per month for every $150,000 in property value, according to the city. If you'd like our 12 News election guide, text VOTE to 409-838-1212. We'll send it straight to your phone. We'll also have special coverage throughout the day today. This morning, the government shutdown ties the record for the longest in U.S. history first set during President Trump's first term. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has been covering the shutdown for weeks.
This morning, the government shutdown reaches 35 days, now tied for the longest in American history. It comes as some lawmakers on Capitol Hill start to discuss a bipartisan compromise to end the shutdown, which centers on Democrats' demands to extend Obamacare subsidies to prevent health insurance premiums from skyrocketing. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he remains hopeful a deal can be reached this week, while other Republicans and some Democrats expressed skepticism.
I don't know if the Democrats are ready, and I say this with respect. They won't get what they've asked for.
Mr. Art of the deal doesn't seem to understand that. He thinks he can bend reality. He thinks he can use hungry children as a bargaining chip against Democrats.
The talks are little solace for people who need help to pay for groceries. Food assistance is running out for nearly 40 million Americans. After a judge's order, the Trump administration now says it will use emergency funds to cover SNAP benefits. But the $4.5 billion in reserves is only enough to cover about half a month's worth of payouts, and it could take weeks or even months. Many families say they're out of money for food now.
How much do you have left in your SNAP account?
Zero.
Some states are stepping in to fill the gap, including Maryland's governor announcing $62 million to help cover November SNAP benefits. There's also growing concern at airports across the country amid the shutdown. 13,000 air traffic controllers and more than 60,000 TSA agents are not getting paid. Many now calling out sick, leading to thousands of delays and long wait times.
I was in the airport for 7 hours, so it was pretty bad.
Still ahead on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, 2 key measures on the Texas ballot could reshape property taxes and local funding. What voters need to know before they head to the polls. And up next, planning a hotel stay soon, you might be paying more. City Council just approved a 2% hike to the hotel tax, but will voters sign off?
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
Filtering out rumors and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back, everyone. You may pay more when booking a hotel in town. City Council has approved a 2% increase to the hotel occupancy tax. It still needs to go to voters. 12 News reporter Kim Burchett explains what these increases really mean.
A convention center, a state-of-the-art, nice
looking building that's going to be drawing in visitors from all over.
At Beaumont City Council Tuesday, members approved a 2% increase for a hotel occupancy tax. It will be in the form of a venue tax to increase revenue that will help fund the future downtown convention center.
There's upwards from anywhere from $1 to $1.2 million that we're discussing here to be paid yearly.
Right now, you pay a 15% tax on each night you stay in a Beaumont hotel. 7% goes to the city, 6% to the state, and 2% to the county. Christina Loki is the Economic Development Manager for the City of Beaumont. She says right now what the city receives from the hotel tax goes to one organization.
That's actually the funds in the budget for the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
The 7% that the city receives, that's where our budget comes from.
Executive Director of the CVB, Freddie Willard, shares how important the hotel occupancy tax is to them.
And we use those dollars to promote the City of Beaumont as a meeting destination as well as a sports destination.
The proposed total tax will be 17% with the addition of the venue tax for the convention center.
It's the future development to allow for conventions and meeting planners to have those breakout rooms, to have a building that allows for them to host a meeting here and to have a hotel property right next door.
That was Cameron Burchett reporting. It's not a done deal yet. Voters still have the final say on the measure this election cycle season.
Looks like it's going to be a beautiful afternoon. It's a chilly morning, though, as we look over towards southwest Louisiana. See a barge heading down the intercoastal waterway over there in southwest Louisiana as we look at the 210 bridge off in the distance. We'll switch back to southeast Texas here. This is Jasper with clear skies on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network. This camera brought to you by Parvalis. Looks like the streets are starting to get busy there in the Jasper area as folks heading off to work. Feeling like fall in the air out there. 39 right now in Kirbyville, 45 in Jasper, 45 in Beaumont with some of that sunshine starting to warm us up. 43 in Silsbee, 47 in Orange. Port Arthur had 49. Also Woodville currently showing a temperature of about 49. You can see not only us, but most of the state under clear skies for this morning. There are a few clouds out in West Texas, Texas Panhandle, seeing a couple of clouds, but that's about it. High pressure just off towards our north and east, building back down across the area. Now that will eventually move a little bit farther to the east. That'll open the door for some cloud cover, but really not a lot of moisture to work with, so we're not expecting really any rain over the next 7 days. Our future cast through the next 24 hours takes us up to the lower 70s at lunchtime and then into the middle 70s for highs today. Should be a lovely afternoon if you have any outdoor plans. Dropping back down into the 60s for the early evening hours, and then we fall off into the 50s by 10 o'clock. And we stay pretty much there into the middle to lower 50s going into tomorrow morning, with the exception of the lakes where you'll see some 40s again for tomorrow morning. But sunny skies today, southeasterly winds at 3 to 8 and highs between about 75 and 77. Tonight we'll see those lows in the 40s in the lakes and then a lot of lower 50s, maybe even a few middle 50s here around the triangle. 70 forecast, not showing much in the way of cooling down until we get towards maybe early next week. We'll see actually temperatures warming up. 80 for Wednesday and Thursday, 85 for Friday, 84 for Saturday. So if you don't like these little bit cooler temperatures, you'd rather be a little warmer. We're going to see that through about 4 or 5 days there, going through the end of the week into the early part of the weekend. Now we do have a front coming in late Saturday, and that will drop our temperatures back again. Sunday at 79, Monday at 73, and you can see those morning lows. After a few days in the 60s, we'll be back down into the lower 50s as we go into Monday morning very early. So no rain in the forecast, but we do see some fluctuating temperatures, so that will keep it a little bit interesting as we go through the weekend into early part of next week.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff. Breaking news for those commuting on Highway 69 near Spurlock Road out near Nederland. Authorities are working the scene of a major crash in the northbound lanes.
Yeah, officials telling us that you can access the feeder road there. Nederland Police Chief Rod Carroll is asking drivers to avoid the area if possible. We are still working to confirm the details on what exactly happened here, and we will keep you posted.
All right, time now 7:49. Voters are also considering Prop 7, a measure that would provide property tax exemptions for military families. If approved, the spouse of a veteran who dies from a service-related condition or disease would receive the same property tax exemption now given to spouses of veterans who were 100% disabled. Currently, that exemption passes down only if the veteran was rated 100% disabled, but many veterans who develop conditions from burn pits, Agent Orange, or other toxic exposures aren't all rated as 100% disabled. Supporters say Prop 7 honors military families and provides financial relief, while opponents warn it would or could reduce funding for Texas schools.
Well, two key measures on the Texas ballot could affect property taxes and local funding.
KVU's Ashley Godot breaks down Proposition 5 and 9 and what voters need to know before heading to the polls.
Let's hone in on two propositions that would offer tax breaks to business owners. Right now, animal feed is generally a tax-free item in Texas. Farmers don't pay property taxes on the feed when it's harvested, and ranchers don't have to pay taxes on it when they buy and store it. But businesses do have to pay property taxes when it's sitting in storage waiting to be sold. That would change if Prop 5 passes. Here's what you'll see on the ballot. The words can be a lot to digest, but all this means is this prop gives the legislature permission to enact a new law so that the owner of a retail store would not have to pay property taxes on its animal feed inventory. Lawmakers already passed that bill, but it's up to you to decide if it will go into effect. Supporters of the prop say this could save farmers and ranchers money in a time when they could use a little help. And the Legislative Budget Board, which estimates how much bills will cost the state, reports Prop 5 won't have a significant impact on the state's budget. But some people think other businesses have to pay taxes on their inventory, so why should animal feed be any different? And speaking of business taxes, right now local taxing entities, think cities, counties, schools, can tax businesses for their personal property they use. That's your computers, vehicles, manufacturing equipment, and more as part of their property taxes. It's called tangible personal property. Now, the state offers a $2,500 exemption for items businesses use to run their business, but Proposition 9 would increase that. Here's what you'll see on the ballot. Again, it's more ad valorem taxation and tangible personal property. But all this means is it would allow the legislature to enact a bill that, again, has already passed into law to increase the exemption on tangible personal property to $125,000. Now, supporters say this will ease the tax burden on small businesses, but opponents point out the legislature isn't giving cities, counties, schools, or any other taxing entity more money to make up for the tax dollars that they wouldn't collect. The choice, though, is up to you to vote, Texas.
And that was Ashley Godot reporting. Time now 7:52 when Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus. We'll have more news and weather in your morning rush out.
12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his co-workers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows or doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:55 right now. It's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day.
And it's election day, and in Beaumont there are 5 bond propositions on the ballot. A involves infrastructure, B, public safety and facilities. Proposition C will be for parks and recreation. Prop D is to expand the riverfront park downtown, and Prop E extends a road through town.
Prop A would set aside $58 million for street and drainage improvements in a citywide sidewalk initiative. The money would be split 4 ways for improvements to the Broad Oak Street outfall ditch, West Lucas storm sewer rehabilitation, special equipment, and citywide storm sewer cleaning. It also includes improvements to 10 city streets.
And digging into Prop D, that would set aside $12.5 million, mostly to expand the riverfront park. Officials want to make an addition next to the river and add a new plaza on Main Street connected by a boardwalk all downtown here. Now, if all 5 of these Beaumont bond propositions pass, that would cost taxpayers an additional $14.25 per month for every $150,000 in property value they have.
Another quiet 7-day forecast, no rain there, but we do see temperatures fluctuating somewhat. We'll go in the middle 70s today, up to the middle 80s by Friday, and then back down into the lower 70s as we head towards early next week. We'll see morning lows also from the 40s this morning to the 60s by the weekend, back to the 50s by Monday.
All right, I'll be in Jasper for Tia's Tales this Saturday, and the theme is Dino-vember, so come prepared to do dinosaur-themed arts and crafts. Meet me at Kiwanis Park from 11 to 1 for a fun time. All ages are welcome.
Looks like a fun time.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Yeah.
What is your favorite dinosaur, Jeff?
The one with the little arms.
T-Rex.
T-Rex?
Yeah.
You look like you like a T-Rex.
Thanks so much for watching Daybreak.
We'll be back at 11 a.m.
Have a great day, everybody.